Hello, it's another lovely day, and I welcome you to the show Conversations. My name is Elizabeth Abai. Now, last week we had a very interesting topic where we talked about our rights as citizens and, of course, the things we should do as citizens. As an offshoot, some people wrote in asking for civic responsibilities and things around it. And we decided to revisit that environment again. And so we are here today to discuss our civic responsibility. Now, bear in mind that we're no longer counting months or weeks, we're counting days, hours, sometimes even seconds to the elections. Is that also part of your civic responsibility? I don't know. At the time we'll be done with this program, we'll be unfolding all of that. But I have two young people here who are doing something really quite wonderful. They are also, very much aware of what their civic rights and responsibilities are. And I'll just briefly let them introduce themselves. Then I'll go show you what they've been doing, and then we'll come back and have our talk. Let's start with you. What's your name?
Okay, my name is Aisha Adamu. I'm in grade 11, that's SS3, and I attend the International Community School.
Okay, grade 11. I was going to ask you whether it's an SS11. That's a grade one. What's your name?
Okay, my name is Okiogene Omariwaye, and I attend ICS, which is International Community School as well, and I'm also in grade 11, which is SS3.
Okay, SS3. That's the ones who are about to write WAEC, right?
Yes.
All right. Later on in the show, I still have one or two more persons joining me. But right about now, we'll move off the studio, get to show you something conversation discovered these two and their friends are doing. Let me not off it. Let's just see it.
It all starts here, the conscious inculcation of the duties and obligations of a citizen. In and out of classrooms, it continues even after the university. A glance at the practical society of ours today leaves one wondering what all the education drained into. Perhaps, like the proverbial hen, we shook it away, leaving in its wake decay, irresponsibility, nonchalance, and corruption. However, not all has derailed. Conversations sought and found a group of young persons voluntarily engaged in community services as part of their civic responsibility, and we had a chat.
We're a non-profit organization, and we just realized that around us there are lots of dirty areas, a lot of, dirt that's just disposed anyhow. So we decided to clean up the area.
It's better for us to actually do something that has a purpose, even if we're not getting any reward back for it. At the end of the day, what we do for the world is what others will speak about us for. So we decided that we are going to use our time to do something that would help at least the people in the neighborhood, if not anything else.
The Nigeria we live in today requires more young people like this. Catching them young is important, but it is never too late to serve your nation and do your civic responsibility.
Okay, now you have met a bit of what my guests, two of them here, do outside the studio and outside their classrooms and outside their homes. And when we ran into them, it was actually Devon that did. I was quite curious and I kept wondering, what gave birth to this? Aisha, you're the founder of your group, by the way. What's the name of your group?
Rebuilding our community.
Rebuilding our community.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. That's the.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's good. I'm just wondering, you're how many years old?
I'm 16.
You're 16. At 16, I know what a lot of young people will be doing. And at 16, you're busy trying to recreate the environment. How did it start? Or was it your parents that forced you, your teachers?
No, it actually started in 2020, around the time of Corona. So, of course, everyone was at home a lot. We weren't going out. We didn't really have anything to do. So during that time, one of the few times that I strolled out, I actually passed by a young boy, and this boy, he asked, like, he was begging for food, and it just got me thinking. It was like, these people are about our age. At that time, I was about 13, and the boy looks like, nothing older than 13. He was probably even a bit younger than me. And it's like, there's so many people in Nigeria around our age group that are suffering, really. And it's because of things like education, things like the environment that we're in. So it just motivated me, kind of. So we started, me and my friends, a few of my friends, we started like with small things. We'd go and clean up estates, or we'd cook food and distribute to kids in rural communities. And then from there, we've just progressed into doing some bigger projects.
Okay, I'll get to talk about the bigger projects, but how did she convince you to join? You're the president of a group, right?
I'm the vice president.
You're the vice
chief
president of a group of
Yeah.
Rebuild Our Community.
Community, yeah.
All right. Okay, you're the president,
Yeah.
and she's the vice president.
Yeah.
Cool. So how did she coerce you? Because you don't look like you want to do that.
Well, for me, I wasn't really forced per se, because before she had invited me into the group, I was already a part of different community service groups. And so for her to invite me into this one, it wasn't really like that much of a big deal for me. It was just like, oh, okay, I get to help more people. And it was very nice to be joining and helping out. Yeah.
All right. Did your parents support, your intent to do that? I mean, some other parents will say, "What are you doing? You're exposing yourself wrongly," and stuff like that. How was your parents' reaction? What was it like?
My parents were actually very supportive, or still are supportive currently. They're actually the ones that transport us to the different places that we are helping
cool.
out in. They're the ones that helped us to create the shirts. They follow our Instagram pages, so they are aware of everything that we're doing. So if it comes to supportive parents, then yes, they are very much aware of what we're doing.
Okay, your parents were supportive?
Very. I feel like if not for our parents, we wouldn't even have been able to progress or do anything, because they're the ones that, of course, we can't drive ourselves around. They're the ones that help us to transport to where we're working at. Also, sometimes they donate when we're doing things that require donations. Some of like the parents of our members, they put money into what we're doing. So yeah.
All right, that's cool. So when you need to cook for the less privileged, you actually raise money from your parents, or do you use your personal savings?
Sometimes we put our own money in,
Okay.
and then we also seek donations from people, our parents, friends, anyone that's willing to donate. Yeah.
I'm just wondering, how do you feel from the inside doing this? I mean, you're taking your personal savings and giving it away. You're taking your time, giving it away, and your energy, you're giving it away. What's the kind of satisfaction? What kind of satisfaction does Aisha get doing that?
It definitely feels really nice, to know that you're helping other people, like money that I could have used maybe to buy shawarma, I put it into, money that I could have used to do something else, I put it into helping people, and it just feels very rewarding. The other day, last week, Friday, I believe, we went to Kadokuchi Junior Secondary School. We didn't necessarily give them anything because we'd done projects with them in the past.
Okay.
But this time we just went there to talk to them about their sanitary hygiene and see, if there's any improvement. And it just felt so rewarding. The girls came, they hugged us, they were thanking us, and it just feels nice,
Okay. Do you feel some?
Yes, definitely. Like she said, when we went to the Kadokuchi school, even before we went for the follow-up meeting, we had a pad drive actually where we got donations from people where they would give us money or they would give us pads, and when we gave it to them, they were actually very happy about it. So for us to actually just come back and show that we are not forgetting about them after the whole event, it was definitely something that they would not forget, and something that I would not forget. So it's a very nice feeling.
All right. Your stage in life is a very critical one. I mean, you're doing your academics, and very importantly, you're in SS3. You say it's grade 11.
Yeah.
Okay. Me, I'll be in grade 12. So when you enter university, that's grade 12, right?
When you enter
University, since
university.
SS3 is grade 11.
Mhm.
So year one in university will be grade 12, right? That's what I'm saying. So how do you balance your time, with your studies and still do all of this charity?
Okay, usually when we want to take out an event, we wait until we have a break in school,
Okay.
or we try and create the time during school where it's not really affecting us. So let's say maybe after school hours, like 4 to 6, 5 to 7, or we would wait till the weekends where it's not really affecting what we're doing in school. So I would say that our whole project, our whole group is not really interfering with schoolwork like
What
that.
you're doing?
Yeah.
All right. Now, I'm going to. You're not up to 18, so you're not voting. And so, in a little while, you'll be having the privilege of deciding or letting your voice count in selecting leaders. But beyond just selecting leaders, there are other things that a citizen is expected to do, for the country. You're actually doing a great job of, impacting on the community. Other things, the young people are, very much accused of, being the voice in the social media. Accused in the sense that it could be negative.
Yeah.
But we also know that what you say to another person, as a citizen, is very important because you must not violate another person's human rights. What is that? How do you manage that? Handling your phone without necessarily, violating people's human rights.
Okay. Personally, I try to only say what I would feel comfortable with other people saying to me when I'm texting or when I'm on social media or whatever. I also just I feel like if people think before they post things, or if you take a step back and reason before you say anything you wouldn't say in real life on social media, it would really help to prevent the current like damages, yeah, that's going on through social media. Because you see, like, young people would be posting all sorts of slander on TikTok, Twitter, and for sure these are things that people can't say in real life. So I feel like if you
Okay, what
reason,
they say in social netizen is different from citizen.
yes,
Oh,
a
wow.
lot of the time what people say on social media are not things that they can say in real life. So if people take a step back, reason, think of how what they're saying is affecting other people or affecting um the general community, I feel like the social media slander would reduce. Yeah.
Okay, that's you have anything else to add to that?
I feel like the way people text online is really more about gaining followers, not that they're actually reasoning behind it, like she said. And so, yeah, if
You
people
just want to say
actually,
nasty things so that you
yeah,
have more
just want to feel
followers.
like, oh, I have power, I have followers, I have this, I have that, and you're not really reasoning what could happen with what you're saying. So, yeah, like she said, it would be very, very nice if people could actually think before they post.
Okay, because why I'm particular about this is our country, Nigeria, a lot of times we put it on a bad light. You've heard about jackpot, you want to jackpot.
Yes.
It's a trend.
It's a trend, right?
Yeah.
So are you going to jackpot too?
No.
You can't be
No.
rebuilding community and then you be
Exactly.
talking about jackpot. So the thing is, it's America, UK, all of them. They look good. I said look, because you and I don't live there. So, but the thing is, it's what they project that we buy into. How much are you young people projecting Nigeria in the positive image? I saw what you people were doing and I was captivated. Are you doing enough to project Nigeria?
I feel like us alone right now, we aren't enough to project the Nigeria as a whole, but our goal actually is to one day reach the point where what we're doing would be enough to project Nigeria as a whole. Currently we only have 40 members, so I feel like if we continue to grow,
You
if
have 40
more,
members in the
yeah,
rebuilding our community. Wow,
yes.
that's quite large.
I feel like if a lot more people did things similar to what we're doing, if we had like, I don't know, 1,000 members one day, if a lot of people buy into this type of activity, it will definitely help to put Nigeria in a better light.
Okay, Vice President, she's talking about if a lot of people buy into it. So your membership is free?
Um, well, yes, it is currently free.
Okay.
We have a form where people fill out um, their personality type, their reason for wanting to join our community, and then there's also a portion where they write an
Why
essay.
do I need to write the reason when it's clear and personality type?
Well, a lot of people actually join just because, okay, it's a recommendation. Like their schools don't allow them to graduate unless they have a certain amount of hours in community service.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people are actually joining because of that, rather than actually wanting to help their community. And so with the essay provided in our form, we kind of use it as a way to determine whether these people are actually trying to help us or it's just a high school thing that they need to graduate. So,
Oh, okay, that's nice. So on your own now, I still want to know how are you projecting Nigeria positively? Because I don't want people telling me this country is wacko, we want to jackpot. I don't want that because they say the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. So, and what you project, it's important for your kind of leadership. That's tomorrow. I need to know how you beyond cleaning up the community and serving the community, what do you do, especially your posting, to ensure that people see Nigeria for who we really are? We're very good people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, for me, I actually travel a lot, so I've been to like the UK and the US. The places where people are jackpotting to, and then it's like, oh, there's nothing really so special about it because if you are comfortable where you are in Nigeria now, and then you say, oh, everyone is leaving, me too, let me leave, and then you go to America or you go to the UK, and then you end up not being at a comfortable position, like you're not as comfortable as you were when you're in Nigeria. So then it's like, oh, you're stuck. So what's really the point of moving because everyone is moving, and then when you get there, you know that, oh, I'm stuck. I don't have money. I don't have this. I don't have housing. So it's like just stay where you're comfortable. Enjoy life where you are. You don't really need to look into the negatives of where you are right now.
That's beautiful. I'm going to go to social media handle. People are sending in questions and contributions, but before I do that, I intend to take a break. When we come back, we'll take a little bit of the questions, and of course, Kevin will be joining us. Stay.
Although social media as a channel of communication is inherently harmless, it becomes harmful and damaging when used without discretion and thoughtfulness. Bad social media users spread rumors and fake news without verification. But good social media users stop, reflect, and verify information before sharing it. Be a good social media user. Stop the spread of fake news. Verify the authenticity of your source and use social media responsibly for a better Nigeria. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, in collaboration with the National Orientation Agency.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take its pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh, you know.
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys. They're not ready to marry.
Yes. See if she wants to ask something. No, I know my mother very well.
In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, you know, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. There was a day I got tired of all that and I said,
All right, it's still conversation, and of course, our feedback handle, the line is right there for you to send only text messages on WhatsApp. If you call me, I will answer you. All right, so some people are talking about the two young ladies here, but before I, begin to read them, I want to say welcome, Kevin.
Thank you, Liz. Good morning once again.
The next time you come here late, you're going to
I'm not late.
Oh, you're not late?
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay. I give up. As civic responsibly, minded person, I needed to say that I've given it right back to me. I'm not going to complain anymore.
Yeah, you don't need to complain.
We're just discussing civic responsibility, and I had to particularly, fish out these two ladies because of what they've been doing for the community. But then they talked about, we're in the spirit of putting Nigeria in a good light rather than a bad light, especially using social media. And I'm wondering, you were a coach, you talked to a lot of young people in the course of doing your life business. What moves them out? What moves them out of Nigeria? Why are they in a hurry to leave rather than like these two people, come back home to try to regroup and clean and build this nation the way it should be?
I think first it starts with parental influence. A lot of young people are leaving because their parents wanted them to have a better life, or that they saw people within their neighborhood who had such. There's what I call the class status syndrome. Everybody wants to be like every other person that has done, like the Joneses. And so if the government on the part has been able to put in the right mechanism, the right infrastructure, the educational system is working effectively, health system is working effectively, it means that every individual who have opportunity to work in the country knows that their child will have good education, live in a good environment. The desire to want to live, to want to have the best of education will not be there anymore. So today, everybody wants to even go to Benin Republic, just to show that they've traveled they went to school abroad. That's one. Two is the fact that when we expose our kids to a lot of this information, there's a deluge of information that comes in from the web and everywhere. They want to feel it without going through the experience. So you see them want to travel abroad because the opportunities that comes with the abroad thing is higher. You can actually today travel and in 2-3 years you are through with your education. I know of someone who did double degree in 3 years, and it's an international individual now. The father is, my son just finished, so proud of it. That child's friend will want to have the same desire, right? Another person. So that's what I think. If we put the right things, I believe that's why a lot of them will travel, gain the education. They believe that, oh, there's more we can do. I mean, like this two have actually, there's more we can achieve here. Nigeria has a huge market, a lot of opportunities.
I always say that.
It's unfortunate that we have not really had, a level playing field for people to thrive, to express their inherent gift. But when they give an opportunity, we see how best they behave and how best they come out.
Kevin, without meaning to cut you, even though I think you already stopped, I always think that a lot of times we're in a hurry, and I have had opportunity of moving out of this shore and meeting Nigerians who are outside here. I see the life they live is not exactly as rosy as they tell us.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Some of them are doing 2-hour jobs, two jobs a day.
Some 3.
And some of them are actually 3. Some, don't get to sleep for more than 4 hours.
That's true.
They stress themselves. Meanwhile, the money they come all goes back to the community, paying taxes and all of that. Bills. You earn like, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month. The bills you have to handle. At the end of the day, your savings, if you're not careful, For you to have savings, you really need to do a whole lot.
I think it's not to cut. It's a psychological pandering that helps them. They oftentimes compare the dollar to naira. That makes them feel that they're earning much.
Exactly.
That's why some of them tend to also send money back home. To like, okay, let's send this money to show. So they come back, they plan, they come back, they tend to act like big boys or big girls.
Because they're melting it, so to speak.
Because I've traveled to like about 20 countries across the globe, and I've seen Nigerians, only few are doing so well, who follow through the processes in the system. The rest are not doing well. They have to cheat, do so many things, and you find us everywhere. Everywhere there's crime, there's a likelihood you're going to find us there, because the system is designed to fish out people no matter how long you don't cry. So I think we should be doing more in encouraging, people to thrive, create opportunities for people. Why do we have an educational system that doesn't really serve us? The curriculums don't serve us. I went to school where you had, in fact, it was when I got into secondary school that it was introduced, 6336 was actually introduced, 6334 rather, was introduced. And we had the vocational system put in place. You have the technical corner. So you're learning skills, you're going to the farm alongside. So by the time you're finishing secondary school, you have a trade craft with which to survive with. There are countries in Ireland, for instance, you cannot stay at home. Your parents will be arrested. Every child is expected to go to school. At least you finish secondary school. You make a choice if you're going to university or not. But once you're going to secondary school, you're taking a skill. So they are job ready for the market. But we don't have same.
I think it's just a question of mentality, because still putting it, on weighing skills, so to speak. A Nigerian who is a taxi driver here will think he's suffering. He's not doing a good job.
Because the system doesn't appreciate it.
The same Nigeria will go abroad and drive taxi and will be proud that he lives abroad.
Because the system compensates for that.
Then a Nigerian mechanic, will behave as if there's nothing inside his workshop or inside, there's no benefit at all. Even when he's earning and has built house, the same Nigerian mechanic will go abroad and come back here feeling like a big boy.
Yeah.
I think it's all in our mental, somebody like you mentioned who lives in Cotonou and comes back to Nigeria for Christmas or whatever, he will package his shirts and hang out like a big boy. You that is working in CBN. No, you that is working in CBN. Have you had that experience? You're laughing at me. You're working in CBN, you're not seeing yourself serving him because he has traveled, is away, he has come back.
Class status syndrome, right? That's it. You also find out that a lot of, in Nigeria, we don't really have good standards. I'm hoping that National Board of Technical Education will be able to encourage, certificates to become certificates, right? A lot of people who learn these skills through the back door. So they are not appreciated. If you say mechanic, it's treated like nobody because if you didn't go, there's no standard. There you have standards. You have to do your tradecraft certification before you become a mechanic.
I think the Board of Polytechnics are actually instituting that now.
The Technical Education are actually trying to do that. You cannot go to Canada, no matter what level of education you have, and have a job without going through their system of certification. If you like you're a professor, you must go through that system of certification. Any field you want to get into, if you want to serve water in a glass, you must go through certification.
To be a worker?
Yes. If you go through that system, a lot of people will begin to appreciate their job preferences. Then people will not begin to look down on you. Drivers, security, all the rest of people, they are like they call them menial jobs. It was a system that we inherited from the Europeans. We'll look down on these people. But they are the core. Your mechanic is not there, you're stranded. I was coming, I had the punctured tire. My tire picked up nails. Who fixed it up? The guy at the roadside. There was no way I could have gone to any workshop, any vulcanizing shop that is big. How to look for the guy who was close by to do it. Now, if I don't show him respect, how well would he save my date the next time? That's another thing. So we need to begin to appreciate those things. And that's why we also need to educate our children to learn to appreciate people who do different jobs we do. We copy these things from home. How do we treat our servants, our male servants, our female servants, the gate men? The kids they're copying. So when they get to a certain age, they treat them the same way. Driver, come here. Security, come here. They don't call them by their names. Derogatorily, they say, driver, come here. That's not how it's supposed to be. We should teach the kids to learn to show human respect and value. So when they get older, they begin to know, oh, these people are important in our lives. So the man who cooks your food is as important as the man who pays you your salary.
The man who cooks your food is actually the holder of your life to a large extent if you're not careful.
The day you put sotapia, the rest is history.
All right, so you're speaking into one of the 7 points of civic responsibilities of human beings. It says respect the dignity of other citizens and their rights. That's part of a civic responsibility. The other things involved, will be taking them one after the other. Let me quickly visit our message box and see what people are writing. Say good morning, conversations, anchor, and two young ladies as today's guests. Kudos to their volunteering work. To respond to today's topic, Aisha and Ese have shown strong family values that uphold civic responsibility through civic participation in problem solving can mold children to become responsible citizens in society. Parents should be intentional as a primary socializing agent in inculcating values of responsibility to their children. I really appreciate you for that. That said, we'll take another one before I get to Aisha to respond to all that. The truth is, whatever we do, I'm not going to read this one. No. Okay. He says his vote doesn't count. I am telling you, your vote counts. Seriously.
Every vote counts.
Your vote counts. It's not like yesterday, it's today. Whatever you do, believe it, your vote counts. And I wish to appreciate you for this choice of topic on conversations, civic responsibility, as this is what we lack among Nigerians and is seriously affecting our national cohesion and genuine development. If this could be taken to the grassroots, it will help. It will be good and better. Thank you. He says his name is Abdulaziz. Thank you very much. And I want to go back to the ladies. We've left you for quite some time now. I am also wondering, your relationship with your peers. It's important to me. He mentioned something about respect. You said something when you started earlier that you saw a young boy who was just almost your age, and what he was doing got you started with what you're doing now. How do you, respond and coexist without cohesion among your peers who are not necessarily in the same school with you, who are not necessarily in the same class with you? Because one of the things we see in Nigeria is that divide. We're all building high fences. This person is not Igbo, this person is not Yoruba, this person, you're from Delta, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're from Jigawa, and see how you're relating. I've been talking with you for almost 24 hours now, or more than that, and I see a good relationship, amongst you. How do you extend that to even people who are outside the circle?
I think that first of all, you should look at people based on what's inside, not where they're from, not what social class they belong to, not who their parents are. Because a problem that a lot of Nigerians have is we judge people based on who your parents are, which family you come from, what tribe you are, what religion you are. I feel like if instead we started to look at the type of people that individuals were instead of like their social class or their background, it will help us to cut the social divide that we have going on. Like Oke and I, for example, she's my good friend, not because we're from the same place or not because we're the same religion or because we're born in the same
Okay, you
place.
Muslim,
Yeah.
she's Christian.
Yeah.
I just need to bring that differences. And meanwhile, you guys are still bonded. Go ahead.
Yeah. We don't look at that. Like, we rarely have conversations about like, oh, you're from this place, I'm from this place. It's more about like what you have up there, really, like the kind of person that she is. That's why we're friends, not because we're from the same social background. I feel like if more people started to look at individuals for who they were instead of like where they were from or their background exactly, or how much money their parents have. If we started to do that instead, we would really be able to cut the social divide in Nigeria.
Your parents' money is not your money now. So why is it a business?
Yeah, but
Well, lots of people actually use that to boast. They'll be like, oh, my father is the governor of this. I have so and so. I have this car. I have that car. And it's really like, oh,
my father is richer than your father.
Yes, exactly. And it's like,
or my
oh,
house is bigger.
You've never really stepped in the kitchen to wash plates before. So why should you be bragging about what your parents have accomplished? You've not done anything in this life. So what really is there for you to brag about? So yeah.
That's really sad. All right, people are still writing. Let's see what we can take. Okay, somebody says, yeah, simple. Good morning. Let's vote wisely. and unite our country. And another person said, good morning, my name is Olamide from Abuja. I want to talk about conversation with this civic responsibility. Well, it's open, please talk, we're listening to you. I'm really enjoying this show. It really amazes me that young people now know the need for community and national building. May God strengthen you. That's from a Mayor Eriwa Eze Kweche from Anambra. Thank you so much, Mayor. And I also want to believe that you're also inculcating your children into that. I really appreciate all of your conversation, ma'am. This is exactly what is going in our nation. Thank you so much. Now, I'll go back to the big brother in the house, Kevin Fineface. I want to know, when we talk about, respecting ideals of constitutions and institutions as one of the civic responsibilities of Nigeria and Nigerians, what does that mean? Respecting ideals. And are we still keeping to it?
Well, if the head is not doing right, of course the body will also not be right. We have a country where our civic responsibility and responsiveness is been battered. I knew growing up by primary school, those are like some of the things we were taught. They don't teach them now in the context with which they're supposed to know the basic values. Nigeria have values, about 8 or 11 of them, if I can remember. How many of these values are taught in schools? How do we inculcate that into our
culture?
Do
they still teach you civic responsibilities? I don't know. Do they still
Not
teach
in
you?
high school, no, because we are under an American curriculum, so we don't exactly go into like Nigerian history or.
You see, so there's a culture that has been denied these kids. So they have this, after growing to this their phase, what they'll be expressing is probably a high level of human, dignity, but there are cultures that connect to us that we must inculcate in our kids. Those civic responsibilities, we must teach them. So if the system shows leadership in areas of carrying out the civic responsibility, the entire followership will be able to do the same. How are we rewarded for doing good, and how are we punished for doing wrong? If we don't have these things properly taken care of, if nobody is used as example, then people will not learn, because the human being is one being to be difficult to control, but can be led. You can't control a human being, but can be led. Definitely. So if we be able to create pathway to say, these are the ways to follow. Nigerians, why do we go abroad and we obey laws? It means there's a system put in place. Everybody is given their dues. There's a reward and there's a punishment. But yeah, by the time punishment want to come in, you see one big man, in quotes, comes to say, she's my daughter, my son, allow her to go. The person goes with that air of superiority, flouts the system's order again. And that person, if not punished, I'm not going to be punished also.
That's really sad.
And now we're having the elections coming in. Are we showing leadership from the top, or we expect the citizens to just go and vote? Why do Nigerians think that their votes won't count? Because they've seen people who they call leaders oftentimes use rigors, talk to go disrupt the election processes, hijack the election. But I want to tell them that your vote counts. Because the voter's card is the most powerful tool in a democracy. It's the only tool that legitimizes the office and the occupier of that office. Without the voter's card, there's no elective office. So we should know the power of the voter's card. Are we teaching people to understand the importance of the voter's card? So they know on the day of election, before the election, you have made your choice. On the day of election, you're not collecting money from anybody. You know you focus on your choice based on your values. If there are no values, of course, then it means, let me just go and thumbprint and walk away.
Now you're talking about election. A lot of people are writing in here with election advice and all of that. Somebody says, good morning, let's pray for peaceful election. That's cheesy from anyone. But taking off from here, I would like to advise the youth really, because I guess this is the last Wednesday before the next general election.
Yeah.
Kevin, what should be our conduct
on the day of election?
Yes.
Now the election timetable is about 8 o'clock in the morning. So at least before 8 o'clock you're there. Orderliness is something that before 8 o'clock you're there. And so how do you conduct yourself? First is your personal safety. So you don't know how long it will take. You don't know when these people will arrive. Some of them might have logistical challenge. and arrive late. So you want to be able to carry water along with you. Whatever it is that can make you be more fluid, because I mean, the weather is like, there's not going to rain, obviously. If it's not going to rain,
don't be too sure.
well, if it rains,
the rainforest may just have rain.
it's very possible. If it rains, because we can't even trust the weather these days, if it rains, then you want to be sure that check your weather condition, read your weather reports, and prepare yourself towards the day's weather. Then when you get to that place, you know your choice already. There's no need going to be talking about your choice. It might offend someone. Keep quiet, take away everything that relates to your...
Actually, it's against the law.
Yeah, it's against the law to talk about. Don't wear any insignia, no logo, nothing. Just go quietly and do your vote.
When you say that, you mean don't wear branded T-shirts?
Branded T-shirts,
so
connected
whether
to your
it's
party
going to connect to your party or your candidate, it's not allowed.
Don't.
Okay.
Then avoid unnecessary arguments. Whenever we congregate, we tend to want to talk about everything.
Thank you.
Avoid unnecessary arguments. Try to be sure that you're benevolent. You see, benevolence is one key factor that we miss as human beings. I mean, that's what we are supposed to be in relating with human beings. If you're benevolent, you don't look at the other person's religion. You don't look at their ethnic background. You don't even laugh at how they speak, either they have intonation or not, or they have some form of interference. You relate with them as human beings.
Just like Aisha said.
That's just how the same blood flows through all of us.
Thank you.
Then you know that you also want to be prepared. I oftentimes want to say this: if you want peace, prepare for war. And how do you prepare for war? Avoid anything that can lead to confrontation. It's an act of war. Anything that the person say your head is big. Oh, thank you. I'm just noticing also that it's big, and I think I love it, and my leg can carry it. You make a joke of some things that are not necessary. You avoid the fight. You avoid the quarrel. Then we'll pray that the security agencies will do what is necessary, create the right buffer zone, put the right access control, so that people will be orderly. Because if you don't do the right access control, there will be rowdiness. And once there's rowdiness, then of course there will be chaos. When there's chaos, there's a tendency for fight to take place. So if security agencies do what they need to do not interfere with the people's processes, then of course there won't be need for anybody to want to have any competition. Then the next we can also do is to be sure that when we finish voting, we fold our hands and watch and allow the electoral officer to do their job. Observe, and where there is a conflict, of course, raise observation to say, look, this is wrong, and speak in such a way that you don't interfere with their duties. Because if you interfere with their duties, we are meant to pick up evidences and not necessarily interfere with the processes. If you think that the electoral officers are not doing right, get the right evidence and present it in our state. That's why we have the court of law.
Okay.
So you don't gotta begin to confront the electoral officers from doing their job, thereby breaching a security a law. Then of course, once you breach the law will take its due course, because you're not meant to take laws into your own hands.
You're not.
So those are the things I think I want to say. Then in the course of our going back, we should just know our environment. Good neighborliness is one form of security that we all need. If the election extends to nights, do we have light within that environment? I think neighborhoods can be able to provide solar lights.
Where would you reach next?
Yeah, because sometimes the counting process takes time. I mean, I've been involved in elections since 1999, so I know how sometimes this thing goes. Sometimes it goes to night. The last election, it was around after 11 p.m. that we finished counting the votes.
All right, so let's quickly page use with customers outside. Says, I appreciate their patriotism and the true spirit of nationalism. Now, just talking about Aisha and your friend, the vice president. And then the other person says, good morning. I think if government can provide more for the youth, Nigerians, it could have been better for us. And I want to participate in this community service. Thank you. That's Mohammed. Mohammed, if you want to participate, probably they'll find a way of linking up with you. And what's your website if you want to participate?
They can actually check us on Instagram, rebuildingourcommunity.ng.
Okay, rebuildingourcommunity.ng on Instagram. Okay, so that way either you send a DM or you just follow the process and register if you want to be part of what they are doing. Hi, I really enjoy show. I want to ask, how will I join the Young Star Nigeria? Okay, that's still it. Mention the Instagram listen again for them, so that people want to join you. Say rebuild our community.
Rebuilding.
Rebuilding our community.
Rebuilding our community. Okay, so if you go on Instagram, you can find them and you get to join them. Okay, you're going to ask your daughter to join them.
Yeah, because she loves things like this.
Oh, that's good.
Very welcome.
All right. Good morning. I am thank God Daniel from Borno. We Nigerians should vote wisely in 2023 for better Nigeria. Thank you, thank God, because that's just the way to go. Good morning, ladies in the house and Mr. Life Coach. I am overjoyed this morning for this program. Aisha and her vice president are doing an amazing job. Adults would selfishly not do. But here they are doing it freely. May God bless them and reward
mean,
them. Thank you very much. My name is Ibrahim. I really appreciate this program. I like the policy that Canada sits for hard work. I hope this will happen in Nigeria soon. We hope so too. All right. So go from certificates to
yeah,
certificates. Okay.
we
Good
should be
morning.
valuing
Civil
certificates.
responsibilities of citizens is to ensure good conduct during this election and say no to spread of fake news and to violence. Let's all citizens vote peacefully. My name is Ibrahim Yuguda, and let's pray. Let the citizens pray to have a good leader. We say amen. Good guy. A lot of them are just flying in at the same time. Let me take one more before we all round up here. Let's pray for a free and fair election this year. God bless Nigeria and peace from Enugu. Thank you very much. Good job, young lady. Somebody is giving you kudos. He says he's from Jos and his name is Zukji from Jos. Thank you very much. Now, on a parting note, there are some young people out there who are finding it difficult to get motivated. I want you to speak to them. I mean, there are a lot of things that are going wrong. When we talk about civic responsibilities, a whole lot. One of them is beating traffic. Have you been in a car? Somebody jumped red light. What did you do?
Definitely.
Eh?
Definitely.
What did you do? Did you try to harass them? Was it your father, your mother?
It depends on who it is. Like some people I've seen that when they beat the traffic light, other drivers will just start cussing them. I'll be like, oh waka waka. They start horning very aggressively at them. Although I haven't really been in a car that beats traffic lights.
Okay. So, what other things you've seen? That they do wrong?
The most common one is wind down your window and throw out your
Oh
Yeah,
your,
that's
your
trash.
Fanta can, or like they'll be like, oh, we're paying taxes, but we're not necessarily seeing improvement. But you're adding to our problem, really. Like when we go out to clean, you'd see the most insane things left outside. You see like cigarettes, you see Fanta packs, and sometimes you even be next to the trash can. So it's like,
So somebody's looking at the dustbin, but he prefers to drop it on
On
the
the
floor.
yeah,
floor.
For home
exactly.
training.
You're adding to our problem. So people need to start know that they should start taking action from themselves. You can't be like, oh, in Nigeria the roads are dirty, but then you're adding to the problem. So if you don't do something yourself, you're not going to help to improve the country.
I think we should have a small assembly here, and I agree that young people. Okay, I'm also young. Kevin, I don't know if you're young. We young people are going to be harassing the adults, but in a very nice manner, so they don't say we don't have home training. So when we see them throwing trash where it's not supposed to be, we're going to say, "Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am. Could you please pick up this? Can we add to that kind of job to what you're doing? I mean, you're not going to be insolent. Sir, this is wrong. Could you just pick it up? Let's see if we can begin, environmentally speaking, clean up Nigeria. On a party note, what's your final word to Kevin?
Well, as every Nigerian should understand, Nigeria belongs to us. Nobody can do better for us than ourselves. It starts with us. Take responsibility and be responsive good enough to respect the other human being. Your rights, your another person's rights starts where your own right stops. You cannot impose who you are to another person, what you do to another person.
All right.
I always learn to tell people to do right. If I see you pour things out, my trash is not in the car until I get to a destination to transfer. It's difficult to even, my kids are like my accountability officers. I can't beat traffic because of them. So even when they're not in the car, I assume they're in the car. Kind of. You just can't even speed out. Like,
No,
it's
it's not
difficult.
allowed.
It's not allowed.
Not
So
allowed.
if you teach them, they grow to do better. But if you don't teach them, if you break the laws, they won't do better. So parents, please do the best you can.
All right,
and
thank
be
you
good.
so much. I wish we could have all this talk and all the talk. Thank you for coming, Aisha, and thank you, Esther, for coming on the show. I know you're going to continue the good work. And on a parting note, I want to say to everybody who is going to vote on Saturday, When you go out there and you're on a queue, if you see a pregnant woman, please give her preference.
See, they have
If you
provisions.
also see an elderly person, give her preference. If you see a disabled person, please let them go before you. That's also a part of your civic responsibility. My name is Elizabeth. I'll see you again next week. Ciao, ciao.